Hi everyone, this is Ken from Life in the Future. This week, Tesla gave us a very interesting contradiction. On the business side, we saw signs of recovery, but on the stock side, TSLA broke below $400. So the real question is this: is Tesla starting a real turnaround, or is the stock price telling us that investors are still worried about bigger risks? Today, I want to break this down from a long-term investor's perspective, not just as news, but as a way to understand what this week really means for Tesla. First, let's talk about demand, because this week, Tesla's sales recovery was not limited to one region. In Europe, Tesla's May sales improved across multiple markets. France was especially strong with a huge year-over-year rebound. Denmark, Spain, Sweden, and Norway also showed positive momentum. That matters because Europe has been one of the biggest concerns for Tesla investors recently. So when several European markets improve at the same time, I don't think we can ignore it. And this was not just a European story. In Australia, the Model Y became the best-selling vehicle overall in May. Not just the best-selling EV, the best-selling vehicle across all categories. That is important because it shows Model Y is still not just an EV product, it is a mainstream car. Japan also showed strong growth, with Tesla registrations up significantly year over year. Japan is not an easy EV market. Roads are narrow, parking is limited, and charging infrastructure is different from the US or Europe. So, when Tesla grows in Japan, I think that tells us something. China also looked stronger this week. Giga Shanghai's May wholesale number came in at more than 85,000 units, up almost 40% year over year. Of course, China is extremely competitive. BYD, NIO, XPeng, and many other companies are fighting hard, but competition and collapse are not the same thing. And based on this week's data, I think the idea that Tesla demand is completely broken needs to be questioned. Next, let's talk about FSD. One of the biggest stories this week was that a 2026 Model Y with FSDV 14.3.2 reportedly drove across the lower 48 US states and Washington, D.C. without steering intervention. The distance was around 11,600 kilometers. Now, let's be clear, this does not mean Tesla has solved full autonomy. It is still a supervised level 2 system. But as an investor, I think the direction matters. The important point is not whether FSD is perfect today. The important point is whether it keeps improving in real-world conditions. There was also progress outside the US. In Australia and New Zealand, Tesla reportedly notified owners that FSD V14 is moving toward the final stages of local development and testing. That matters because right-hand drive markets are important for global expansion. If Tesla can gradually bring FSD to more countries, the software story becomes much bigger than just North America. Again, this is not a finished product yet, but the direction is worth watching. Now let's move to Robotaxi. Tesla is reportedly building a new facility in Grand Prairie, Texas. This facility could support charging, cleaning, storage, maintenance, and repairs for Tesla-owned autonomous vehicles. And this is where I think many people miss the point. Robotaxi is not only about the app, it is not only about FSD performance. To operate a real robotaxi service, Tesla needs physical infrastructure. Cars need to be charged, they need to be cleaned, they need maintenance, they need places to be stored. So, if this facility is connected to robotaxi operations, it may show that Tesla is preparing the boring but necessary part of the business. And in real business, that boring part is often what turns a demo into a scalable service. Tesla Energy also had an interesting week. SpaceX and XAI are reportedly buying large amounts of Tesla Megapacks. This connects Tesla Energy to one of the biggest trends in the market right now. AI infrastructure, AI data centers need huge amounts of stable power, and large-scale battery storage could become more important as electricity demand rises. So, from a long-term perspective, Tesla Energy may be more connected to the AI boom than many people realize. But I also want to be balanced here, because SpaceX and XAI are related to Elon Musk. We should separate this from completely external customer demand. It is positive, but we should analyze it carefully. Now, despite all these positive updates, TSLA still broke below $400. And that is the most important part of this week. Recently, Tesla was trading around the $420 level, but then it fell into the $391 range. From a chart perspective, $400 is a major psychological level. The $400 to $412 area had also been an important support zone. So once Tesla broke below that area, short-term caution increased. So why did the stock fall? One reason is the macro environment. US jobs data came in stronger than expected. A strong labor market is not bad by itself, but for growth stocks, it can create a problem. If the economy stays strong, the Federal Reserve may have less pressure to cut interest rates quickly, and higher for longer interest rates are usually a headwind for companies like Tesla. At the same time, AI and tech stocks were also under pressure. So even good Tesla news was not enough to protect the stock. Another issue is SpaceX. With SpaceX IPO speculation getting more attention, some investors may wonder if capital could shift from Tesla to SpaceX. I don't think we can prove that this directly caused Tesla's decline, but it may have added uncertainty. Tesla and SpaceX are separate companies, so even if SpaceX becomes incredibly successful, that does not automatically benefit TSLA shareholders directly. That is why investors need to separate excitement from actual shareholder value. There are also legal and quality risks. Tesla is facing issues related to FSD, hardware limitations, advertising, and product quality. As FSD becomes more advanced, responsibility becomes a bigger question. If something goes wrong, who is responsible? What happens to owners with older hardware? And does the name full self-driving create unrealistic expectations? These are not small issues. They are part of the risk that the market may be pricing in. So how should we understand this week? My view is simple. We need to separate Tesla's business from Tesla's stock. On the business side, there were clear signs of improvement. Sales looked better in Europe, Japan, Australia, and China. FSD continues to improve. Robotaxi infrastructure may be moving forward, and Tesla Energy could benefit from AI power demand. But on the stock side, the market is still worried. Interest rates, tech stock weakness, SpaceX uncertainty, lawsuits, and quality issues are all weighing on sentiment. So I don't think this is a simple Tesla is strong or Tesla is weak moment. It is more complicated than that. For next week, I'm watching three things. First, can TSLA recover the $400 level? Second, will June sales data confirm that demand is really improving? And third, will we see more concrete progress on FSD and Robotaxi? Because for long-term investors, 1 week of good news is not enough. What matters is whether the trend continues. So my final takeaway is this. Tesla's business is showing signs of recovery, but the stock market is still demanding proof. As a long-term investor, I don't think this was a week to panic, but I also don't think it was a week to blindly celebrate. This was a week that reminded us why Tesla is such a difficult stock to analyze. The company can be improving while the stock is still under pressure, and that is exactly why we need to look deeper than the headlines. What do you think? Is Tesla starting a real turnaround, or is the stock price warning us that risks are still too high? Let me know in the comments. And if you want daily Tesla analysis from a long-term investor's perspective, make sure to subscribe to Life in the Future. Thanks for watching, and let's keep enjoying life with Tesla. Before we wrap up, let me take a moment to introduce myself. I drive a Tesla Model Y, and at home, I've installed a Tesla Powerwall, so I actually charge my car with solar energy. I truly believe Tesla is shaping the future, and that's why I share the latest news and insights here on this channel. I'm from Japan, but I want to connect with Tesla fans all around the world. That's why I also create an English version of my videos. YouTube now lets you switch the audio into your own language, so you can enjoy it in whatever language you prefer. Most of all, I'd love to connect with Tesla fans everywhere so we can support Tesla together. I also share updates on X, so feel free to follow me there and let's connect. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.